Emma and Jack, a young couple living in a small, peaceful town, are always full of hope and love. They both dreamed of a perfect family, with children's laughter echoing throughout the house. They have prepared everything to welcome their first child, Oliver, with all joy and excitement. But life doesn't always go according to plan. Right from the moment Oliver was born, doctors noticed something unusual. After a series of tests, they arrived at a brutal diagnosis. Oliver had partial paralysis involving his spine, leaving him unable to move his lower limbs naturally. This news was like a punch to Emma and Jack's heart. They stood stunned in the hospital room, their eyes filled with tears, unable to believe what the doctor had just said. Emma, with her motherly instincts, tried to stay calm, but her heart was broken. "Why our son?" she whispered, hugging Oliver tightly. Jack, who is always strong and optimistic, cannot hide his pain. He put his head in his hands, tears falling silently. "What should we do?" he asked Emma, his voice choked up. Although heartbroken, Emma and Jack decided not to give up. They began to learn all about Oliver's condition, from scientific articles to success stories of other families. They meet with doctors, physical therapists, and even join online forums to seek support and advice. But every solution seems to yield vague or far-fetched results. Jack spent many sleepless nights sitting in front of his computer looking up treatment options. "We must do everything we can," he told Emma, his voice filled with determination. Emma, meanwhile, focuses on taking care of Oliver, making sure he always gets the most love and attention. They took Oliver to physical therapy sessions every week, where specialists tried to stimulate his muscles. Every time she saw her son trying to move but failing, Emma's heart broke. But she always smiled, held Oliver's small hand and whispered, "You are my strong warrior." After months of struggling with pain and uncertainty, Emma and Jack realized they needed to do something to bring joy and comfort to their family. By chance, Emma read an article about the benefits of keeping pets for children, especially those with special needs. The idea of a puppy began to form in her mind. "Jack, I think we should get a dog," Emma said one evening when they were both sitting next to Oliver. Jack looked at his wife, a bit surprised, but also recognized the hope in her eyes. "I thought it could bring joy to Oliver, and also help us get through this difficult time," she explained. After a few days of research and discussion, they decided to adopt Max, a golden retriever puppy with shiny golden fur and big, innocent eyes. The day Max entered the house, the atmosphere seemed to brighten. Oliver chuckled as Max licked his little hand, a sound Emma and Jack hadn't heard in weeks. Max quickly becomes an indispensable part of the family. The puppy always clings to Oliver, as if understanding that the boy especially needs attention and love. Emma and Jack, for the first time in months, felt their hearts lighten when they saw a smile on their son's face. From the early days, Max showed himself to be an energetic and mischievous puppy. He often runs around the house, dragging Jack's slippers or jumping on Emma's feet to ask to be petted. However, when near Oliver, Max seems to turn into a completely different dog. It was gentle and careful, lying close to the boy like a loyal protector. Oliver, even though he was young, seemed to feel Max's special presence. Every time Max comes closer, he tries to reach out to touch the soft fur. Max responded by lightly licking Oliver's hand, making the boy giggle. That smile became the most valuable medicine for Emma and Jack. Gradually, Max and Oliver begin to build a bond that no one could have expected. Max often lies next to Oliver when he sleeps, as if wanting to protect him from any bad dreams. When Oliver cried, Max did not bark loudly, but only made small purrs, as if to comfort him. Sometimes, Max even gently pushes Emma or Jack's hand with his nose, as if to signal that Oliver needs attention. One time, in the middle of the night, Emma and Jack were awakened by knocking on Max's door. They rushed over and noticed Oliver crying. Max stood next to the crib, turning his head to look at them with eyes that seemed to say, "Help the boy." From there, they began to realize that Max was more than just an ordinary puppy. It seemed to understand Oliver better than they could have imagined. Max also has a habit of following Oliver's every move. When the boy was placed on the floor to practice rolling, Max always lay nearby, his eyes attentively watching. If Oliver rolls too far, Max will gently push him back with his foot. Those actions made Emma and Jack surprised and touched. One night, while the whole family was sleeping, Max suddenly acted strangely. It barked softly, then used its paw to scratch Emma and Jack's bedroom door. Emma at first thought Max needed to go out, but the unusual way Max was behaving woke her up. When she opened the door, Max didn't run out as usual, but turned around to look at her, then ran back to Oliver's room. Emma sensed something was wrong and quickly followed. When entering Oliver's room, Emma suddenly stopped. Under the dim light from the night lamp, she saw Max lying next to Oliver's crib, his head resting on his feet. But what surprised her most was that Oliver's leg, which had never moved before, now twitched slightly. "Jack! Jack! Come here quickly!" she shouted, her voice both surprised and delighted. Jack rushed in, and he saw the same miracle. Oliver, although still sleeping soundly, but his little legs were moving gently. "Are you dreaming?" Jack whispered, unable to take his eyes off the scene before him. The next day, Emma and Jack take Oliver to see the doctor. They recounted everything from Max's strange actions to Oliver's slight movements. Doctors conducted a thorough examination, but found no obvious medical explanation. "It could be a sudden muscle reflex, but we can't be sure," a doctor said, his eyes filled with surprise. Although there was no clear explanation, Emma and Jack felt hope begin to rise. They decided to keep a close eye and continue to trust Max. From that night, Max took even more special care of Oliver. It always lay next to the boy, sometimes even gently pushing Oliver's leg with its nose, as if encouraging him to move. In the weeks that followed, Oliver began to make slow but steady progress. The boy not only moves his legs in his sleep, but can also flex them slightly when stimulated. Max, with patience and dedication, is always by his side, using small but loving actions to encourage Oliver. Emma and Jack couldn't believe their eyes as Oliver gradually became able to move more. Every small step brings boundless joy to the whole family. They don't know how to thank Max, the little puppy who brought this unbelievable miracle. One beautiful sunny day, the family decided to take Oliver and Max to the park to enjoy the fresh air. Emma prepared a large rug for Oliver to lie down and play on the grass while Max played around. The park is crowded with children's laughter and birds' song echoing everywhere, creating a peaceful scene. When Oliver was placed on the carpet, Max quickly lay next to him, seemingly unwilling to leave the boy's side for even a second. But then, Max suddenly acted strangely. It stood up, walked back and forth a few times as if thinking about something, then rushed towards Oliver and used its mouth to gently bite the boy's clothes. Emma and Jack were initially panicked and rushed to stop Max. "Max, stop!" Emma shouted, while Jack quickly checked to see if Oliver was injured. But as soon as they got close, they noticed something completely unexpected. Oliver, with an obvious effort, moved his legs to push Max away. The boy's legs not only twitched slightly like before, but this time they actually moved, albeit weakly. Emma stood dumbfounded, her hand covering her mouth, tears flowing uncontrollably. Jack, unable to contain his emotions, bent down to hug his son, crying and laughing at the same time. "You did it, Oliver! You did it!" he said, his voice shaking. Around, a few people walking around also stopped, curious at this touching scene. An elderly woman, watching from afar, approached and said, "This dog is special. I've never seen anything like it." Max, as if understanding the importance of this moment, stood still next to Oliver, wagging his tail gently. It didn't bark, didn't jump, just looked at the boy with eyes that seemed to say, "You can do it." The event at the park became an important turning point. Emma and Jack immediately took Oliver back to the doctor for a checkup. This time, the doctors were no longer surprised, but became really concerned about Max's role. Some experts even recommend studying the impact of pets on children's recovery. Max may be stimulating some kind of reflex or sensation that we don't fully understand yet, a doctor said, his eyes filled with curiosity. But clearly, little Oliver is making progress, and we need to continue to support that. In the following months, Max continued to play an irreplaceable role in Oliver's journey to recovery. From small steps at the park, Oliver was gradually able to sit up with the help of his parents and Max. Each passing day brings new hope, and the family understands that real miracles do not come from a distant magic, but from unlimited love and patience. Emma began sharing her family's story on social media, posting photos and videos of Oliver's recovery journey and Max's exceptional support. Initially, the posts were only followed by friends and family, but then the story went viral. The images of Max gently encouraging Oliver to stand or lying next to him every night have touched the hearts of millions. Thousands of comments and messages of encouragement poured in from all over the world. Many families in similar situations have found hope from this story. "We are also getting a dog and hoping for a miracle," one mother wrote. "Thanks for inspiring us," another commented. With Max's unwavering support and the family's perseverance, Oliver finally reached his most important milestone, taking his first steps. It was a peaceful morning when Oliver got up from the floor with Max's support. The boy, with a bright smile, took small but steady steps towards his parents. Emma and Jack burst into tears, hugging their son tightly, unable to believe the miracle that had just happened. Max, as usual, was right next door. The puppy looked at Oliver with proud eyes, as if he knew that his journey and the boys had achieved a great achievement. "Max, you are our family's guardian angel," Emma whispered, stroking the puppy's head. Years later, Oliver is older, a healthy and energetic boy. The family's story continues to inspire many people. One day, at a family event, while everyone was gathering around the dinner table, Oliver suddenly stood up, walked over to Max, and hugged the puppy tightly. The boy, now able to speak, whispered his first 2 words: "Thank you." No one in the family could hold back their tears. It's not just a thank you to Max, but also a reminder of the power of love, patience, and the magic of the bond between humans and animals. Oliver and Max's journey is a living proof that in the most difficult circumstances, love and connection can create miracles. Although life may bring unexpected challenges, we always have the strength to overcome them, as long as we never give up hope.